In this video, we will be looking at the components of a vector. So the component form is a representation of a vector in the form AI plus BJ, where I is a unit vector in the X direction and J is a unit vector in the Y direction. We can write a vector in component form by breaking it into its X and Y components. I represents the horizontal or X component, J represents the vertical or Y component. When we are adding and subtracting vectors, to find your new I vector, you add the X coordinates, and when you're finding your J vector, you add the Y coordinates. When multiplying components, when a vector is multiplied by a scalar, each component is also multiplied by that scalar. That is, the I is multiplied by the scalar and the J is multiplied by the scalar. We will now answer some questions. So remember, your X is on top and then your Y. When we want to break this up into its components, your X comes first, so 4I, because I represents your X direction, and then your Y comes second, minus 3J. Given that V equals I plus 2J and W equals 3I plus 5J, find V plus W. As with algebra, your same is added to same. Therefore, I like to underline the things we're adding. So our new I component is 4I, and our new J component is 3J. So the resultant vector is 5I plus 3J. Down here we have 4V. Therefore, we will have 4 bracket I vector minus 2J vector. And again, each component is multiplied by your scalar. So we now have a resultant vector of 4I, take away 8J. Find the magnitude and direction of the vector. Remember, magnitude is your xi plus yj vectors, and it is the square root of x squared plus y squared. In our case, that'll be 4 squared plus negative 5 squared, which equals root 41, or 6.4 approximately. When finding your direction, remember tan theta equals y over x. So we have tan theta equals negative 5 over 4. Inverse tan negative 5 over 4 equals negative 51 degrees and 20 minutes. At this stage, it's good to know what quadrant our vector is in. Now, it had a x value of 4 and a y value of negative 5. So our vector is down here in the 4th quadrant. So therefore, theta is going to be 360, take away 51 degrees and 20 minutes. So our final direction is 308 degrees and 40 minutes. To end the video, we'll do a quick recap. Remember, we can write a vector in its component form by breaking it into its x and y components. I represents the horizontal or x component. J represents the vertical or y component. When you're adding and subtracting vectors, your x components added together to form your new resultant I vector, and your y coordinates added together to get your new j vector. When you're multiplying a vector by a scalar, each component of the vector is multiplied by that scalar.